green flag. Now look at the pole position on the right-hand side. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement, Lewis Blackstock, Paddy Rosney, 95. Watch George Holden on the vivid blue outfit on the left. Rob Biggs is behind him. The lights come on. The lights go off and they're away. They dump the clutches. Lewis Blackstock looking for the hole in the middle and finding it, sliding into second place ahead of George Holden and Oscar Lawrence. Rob Biggs and Ferry Sager's going there. Martin Kerr. Then it's Phil Bell. Then it's Clark. Then it's Kirby. But out in front, Todd Ellis locking up the sidecar wheel. Emmanuel Clement flicking from right to left into the complex for the first time. Campbell, Cobb, the left-hander in the middle of that section, and Seagrave, the right-hander, on the way out. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement leading them at the first complex. Kirby there on the left. There's Brian Gray on the black and yellow, number 7. Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney, 95. The red outfit in second place for third yesterday. They really need to do something about. They've got a narrow point lead, 19 points only over Todd Ellis by virtue of the fact he was away and didn't score last week at Cameron.
Exactly that, Barry. They've had a real opportunity in these last couple of meetings to close that gap and overcome Ellis and Clement, and I noticed they're on the start as well. Lewis and Paddy absolutely nailed it. 5th time in a row we've seen them absolutely cane the start. They've absolutely nailed it there.
They are good off the line and they come through. There's the number 27 of Paul Kirby and Tom Kirby up the inside. Oh dear me, terrific stuff. The number 70 of Craig Clark and Pete Enser, number 17 crew there, orange and black, getting a slight kiss on the way through. Ahead of them is Phil Bell. Phil Bell is in the running here. He and Mark Gash in 6th place, the number 18 outfit. So leading the Cup runners at the moment, Phil Bell. There is Simon Robinson. No, it's not, it's Kirby, I beg your pardon. That's still Kirby. Kirby and Craig Clark locking horns here. But out in front, it's Todd Ellis. There's Phil Bell going out of the picture. This is frantic stuff. They're all at it and they're not getting that far away, the leaders.
Everyone absolutely pushing on out there. We've seen a lot of movement from the back of the sidecars coming through the complex, through the chicane. No quarter being left out there, Barry. It's absolutely wonderful to see, and truth be told, I'm a little bit glad I'm sat here next to you rather than hanging off the back of one of these outfits.
Well, it can get hairy next to me, I tell you, because I swung my arms about a little bit, but I'll try and keep you safe. On the outside of the track there, lots of little rubber marbles left by what have been 3 fantastic British Superbike races. Back with the leaders, Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement then, the French lady passenger. These two now have been together for 2 full seasons, also contesting the World Championship. Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney, 0.83 seconds off the back. Well, it's now 1.3. So Ellis is eking away here. The pigtail from Emmanuel flapping in the breeze as she goes from left to right. Superbly athletic. The passengers have to be here, and this lady is as fit physically as anyone out there. Look at Todd Ellis sliding it. Look at Lewis Blackstock popping the sidecar wheel up. George Holden being left behind a bit. Here comes Rob Biggs. A good start and a good ride by Rob Biggs. And Martin Kirk and Kyle Masters holding on to 5th place. 7 seconds adrift of this pair, the race leaders.
Absolutely phenomenal. Look at that lap time they just posted last time around, about 1:19.615. That means we're only half a second away from the lap record, and it's lap 2.
Yep. So there's more to come. We said the conditions were good on track. The record held by Ben and Tom Birchall, who are not here this weekend, actually injured in a crash last weekend in the World Championship in the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Todd Ellis took a victory there. So he is the reigning world champion, the reigning British champion. His goal this year is to retain both titles. Well, riding like this, you wouldn't bet against it. They are a very, very accomplished duo. But Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney in second place in this race still have that 19-point advantage, which will be even less if things stay the way they are. 106.53. Fantastic. 119 then, as you say, half a second off the lap record. So what can they do? Can they find something a little bit more? Be good to go away with a lap record in their belt as well as double victory, wouldn't it?
100%. And if you look, Barry, they've slowed down on that last lap. 2,000 slower than their lap before. So
tut tut. That's just not good enough. You know, we pay good money for fast speeds here. Look at Phil Bell. Look at Bell and Kirby. These are the top two in the Cup Championship, and now they're fighting not just in the Championship, they're fighting on track. Paul and Tom Kirby still really learning their craft, this pair, and getting better all the time. Their chassis, an Adolf RS. So not what the others are using, the LCR, the Lewis Christian chassis, but the Adolf RS built in Germany. So this is the battle for the Cup, and they're looking pretty good, and they are ahead of Craig Clark and Pete Enser and Simon Robinson and Mick Fairhurst, the number 19 crew, further back down the order. Has Kirby got anything here? Got it on speed, or has he got it on braking? Let's watch.
I think he's looking. He was very good into here, so they pulled a few good moves to the Kirbys into here. And today they're chasing their first Cup win this season, Barry. They're season best, currently a second place, which they got yesterday and back at Alton Park as well. And they're chasing Phil Bell and Mark Gash there to take that class victory.
Well, they're looking every bit as if they might well do that. The race at the front has opened up to 3.7 seconds, the leaders have, but this the battle. Now, are the Kirby boys going to be able to close Phil Bell down? Bell's wheel popped up. Mark Gash, a very accomplished passenger as well. Phil started the season with his cousin Carl, and now got Mark Gash in for some reason. I don't know the answer to that, to be absolutely honest with you.
Not a clue either, Barry. I couldn't say. But I tell you what, as well, actually, Craig Clark, Pete Enser back there in third place in this Cup Challenge. They're only 1.2 behind the Kirbys, so let's not rule them out yet. Could be a three-way scrap towards the end.
Well, Craig Clark, Pete Enser have been regular supporters of this championship this season, unlike some other crews who have dipped in and out of it, which is a great pity. But Thruxton does hold a certain degree of fear for Sidecar passengers, because that right from Goodwood all the way round to Church, it's threatening to throw the passengers out the whole time. And you can see the Kirby boys now flicking it left, Phil Bell and Mark Gash as they come through the chicane almost side by side. What has Kirby got? On the outside then, as he goes round Allard and then down to the complex. Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave, they're at it now. Into the
Kirby, there he goes. Sorry, Barry, to cut across you. That was a move and a half. And can he... Oh, barely round the outside. Fantastic driving by the pair of them, and passengering too, I might say.
And it will have told him he can do it, so he'll gain some inspiration for that.
It's absolutely brilliant racing by these two guys. Paul Kirby and Tom Kirby there in 7th place overall, 2nd place in the Cup. They are absolutely throwing everything at this to overcome Phil Bell and Mark Gash there leading that Cup class.
Well, a good battle between these two. At the front, the gap now Ellis has over Blackstock is 5 seconds, with George Holden and Oscar Lawrence just a further 2 seconds behind. So the battle is still on for 2nd place. We are watching the battle for 6th and 7th, but it's about the Cup Championship. These are the two leading protagonists. Now, Paul Kirby, 27, the yellow, the turquoise, the dark black, looking at the inside and going through, and that's a brave move. He's got it sideways, all squirrely, but no contact. That was really, really good at the chicane. Here they come. Phil Bell would have thought in his Northumberland dialect, and I'm not going to try. Oh, that's Pottinger. Gordon Pottinger out of it. That is such a shame. But that was a really spectacular sideways slide by Paul Kirby going through the chicane. Let's have a look at that. The back end breaks away, and you can be so caught up because there isn't much corrective lock. You can see the front, it's a 3-wheel slide, and that was nicely controlled. Come on.
I don't know what you'd want to call that. Luck, skill, I'm not fussed. That was absolutely beautiful control there. Lovely camera work to capture it as well.
Brilliant, brilliant slide. Race leaders, Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. Lap 7 of 10, so we're 2/3 distance or thereabouts Todd Ellis 7 seconds clear now of Lewis Blackstock. George Holden is on the back of Blackstock, so we've got a real scrap opening up now for second place. Can George Holden repeat his second place from yesterday when he brought it home on the middle step of the podium? Let's wait for them to come through. They're 7 seconds behind. We're watching the race leaders still in superb control here. 119.615. Here's that battle for the runner-up spot on the podium. Holden and Oscar Lawrence are sniffing a second place here. They know that they can pass these guys. It will be at the chicane probably where they did it yesterday. And when they did it yesterday, they unsettled the number 95 outfit.
Blimey, I thought that was a very weakness. Look at George Holden and Oscar Lawrence and that blue number 93 Kawasaki. They are absolutely giving every ounce that bike has.
Well, let's see if they can do the same again. Round they come. Round the right-hander. They're right on the back now of Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney in the sunshine here at Thruxton, this fearsomely fast Thruxton circuit. Here it comes, underneath. Can they get it stopped? They're going to turn it in right. Yes, they have. They've got second place. Can they hold it? Oh, Blackstock will be thinking, oh, here we go again. And again, he seems to have lost his mojo. Once Holden comes past, it tends to go off the boil a bit. It's as if his head drops. But now Holden and Oscar Lawrence in second place, albeit 7 seconds and a bit down on the race leaders. But they've relegated Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney to third place yet again. It's deja vu here at Thruxton on lap 9, the penultimate lap of this second sidecar race.
So I don't know if you clocked that then, Barry, as George and Oscar came up the inside. Young Oscar Lawrence giving a cheeky little wave to Blackstock and Rosney on their way through on the entry at about 110 miles an hour there. So he's a crazy young lad.
He is a cheeky little chap. So he's not such a little chap, as it happens, but comes up, of course, through the Sidecar racing family. His father, very much a famous passenger, British champion back in the day. And here we have the race leaders then out on their own, about to start their last lap. So 2.35 miles once they go over the line of this Thruxton circuit, having got pretty close to lap record. And these are world champions, they are British champions, they are honing their skills every single weekend. Last weekend it was in Austria in the World Championship. Next weekend they go to Assen to fight for World Championship honours, which are 18 lap races, very, very long races, physically fit. They know how to prepare a bike, and stepfather Gary Bryan very much involved in preparing the engines and the machine. All of them work tirelessly to make sure the machine is in impeccable condition. And doesn't it look it?
It looks amazing. I'm just enjoying these pictures we've got, Barry. The poetry in motion. The pair of them, Emmanuel on the back there, just doesn't miss a thing. Anyone wanting to get into sidecar racing, be you a driver, be you a wanting passenger, just watch what these guys are doing. They are, well, I've run out of superlatives this year, Barry. They are just the best doers for me at the minute.
And they're up Woodham Hill now, approaching the chicane, and this is where it's particularly tough because these things stop on the proverbial sixpence. The braking forces are incredible from those great fat Avon tyres. It'll be the last year we use Avon tyres because they are discontinuing production, but it's victory for Ellis and Clement, a double here at Thruxton, and closing the gap on the third place. Blackstock and Rosney not yet appearing. They've already backed off. Second place for Holden and Lawrence, so a double second place on the podium. Fourth again for Rob Binns and Ferry Sagers, his Dutch passenger. That is a great result. Martin Kirk, Kyle Masters, the 58 crew, will be taking the flag. And there,
still going at it.
More action with the privateers here. The Cup boys, Kirby and Kirby ahead of Phil Bell and Mark Gash. What a race! pace, the Kirby's
boys.
body language, they love it.
Fantastic. Their first cup win of the season, and rightly deserved. Rightly deserved. And what better person to beat Phil Bell? Has pushed them all the way. Well-deserved victory. They've had to fight hard for that, and they brought home the spoils.
They certainly did. That was absolutely brilliant. At Noble then, the left-hander right out the back on their victory lap for Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. A stunning performance here, getting to within half a second of lap record pace. And I have to say, with due respect to the guys who chased them down, if they'd had a real battle on, the lap record would have gone, I think, because they were saving it. They certainly didn't have to ride harder than that, but it was hard enough to take victory, and there it is confirmed. Ellis Clement, Holden Lawrence, Blackstock and Rosny third again, but still leading the championship. These guys dropped their two worst scores, but at the finale in Brands Hatch there are double points, so quid pro quo. Kirk, Masters, Kirby's victory in the Cup ahead of Bell, Clark, Gray and Robinson. Atkinson again, he and Middleton, the only F2, will pick up 25 points. Well done, boys. 14 points the gap now that Blackstock has going in to the next round, which is away, not with BSB, but it's up in Knockhill. But the next time we're with you with the sidecars here on Eurosport, it will be from Brands Hatch.